Welcome to Dirty Fanatics United.
Falcon fans, Falcon Nation, welcome back to Dirty Fanatics United. If you're new to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment. If you're on the Twitter side of things, man, head over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button, man. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you that have tuned in this morning for your Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Jets pregame show. I am your host, C Money. To the right of your screen here is Mr. AKA Philip, Mr. Avitz, and my guy David Ellison here to talk some Falcon football, man. Y'all tap in, bring your questions to the stream because we'll be sure to answer each and every question as we go through this Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Jets pregame show. Philip, what's going on, man? Before we dive too far into it, I got some big news. Them Dogs is back in the SEC championship, baby. Let's go. How about it?
Okay.
Philip, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Are you talking to me? No, man, it's been good. Yeah, this is what? Is that a rare Avis?
A rare Avis sighting.
It's been 2 months, man. I've been in hiding, but no, I've been living life, man. Just been, took a little step back because we ain't been the best, but hey, we're good, bro. Health is good, just happy, ready to get this win today, man. And, that's all.
Ready to get the dub in New York. That is the goal for today. The Atlanta Falcons found a way to win it in New Orleans. How do you keep that trend heading into New York? David, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here. Recognize game is in the building. Falcon fans, hit that like button. Whew. Mr. David.
What's going on? Just
I think I got a lag.
Yeah, just going on. Can you hear? Yeah, just saying everything's not running smoother now. But yeah, we coming out of this holiday weekend. Just did a little traveling this weekend, spent some time with family. Just trying to get ready for the work week for next week. Like I said, just want to come out with a good win today to finish the weekend off strong. Like I said, the weekend always goes better when the Falcons win in my book.
Yes,
so
sir.
Here we are.
Yes, sir. Falcons dub today was solidify the 4-day off weekend. As we have stated before the show, it seems like it flew by. So I want to give a shout out to everybody that's tuning in on this Thanksgiving weekend. Shout out to you guys for being here. My guy Ricky in the chat with it. What's good, Ricky? He said, I feel you. What's good, fellas? Glad to have you in the chat, Ricky. Y'all hit that like button. Subscribe if you're on Twitter. Head over to YouTube, man, at Dirty Fanatics United. Hit that subscribe button, man. We're on the road to 1K. Philip, we're going to jump right into it, man. I was doing a little bit of stat scouting, I guess you could call it, over on the Google type of things with the New York Jets. And from what I've researched, the New York Jets defense is pretty god-awful right now as it sits. They're ranking at number 32 in the NFL in total yards allowed for defensively. Offensively, not too hot themselves. The last 3 games, the Jets have digressed in passing game. The running game has also went down the last 3 games. Now, obviously, the Falcons have their own fault of degress since the start of the season. Philip, your thoughts on this matchup today in New York, in enemy territory, as we like to call it, is Kirk Vember here on the podcast. You must find a win today. Philip, how do you do that? What is the recipe to success to taking down the New York Jets in their home stadium?
I think it's simple. We seen what happened last week when Kirk was able to control the ball. I think you let Kirk control this game. You let Kirk be Kirk, man. That which opens up the run. We've seen Bijan. Technically, we've seen a lot more Algier than we usually do, which was I was very proud of that.
12 touches for Algier, over 60 yards on the ground. Anytime you give the ball to Algier over, I think it's 8 touches, and that's a stat we have to go back and look at. Anytime you give Algier the ball 8 times a game, you find a way to win the game. David, you've heard a little bit what Philip was speaking on. I think Philip's got a little bit of a lag going on his end. David, how do you beat the New York Jets in their home turf, on their home turf? Falcon fans have traveled. I have a bunch of buddies at the game today as it stands. How do you win this game in a somewhat hostile environment, a good travel distance away from your home stadium?
Well, my take on the Jets, the Jets were real busy at the trade deadline. They really scalped their team. They traded away Sauce Garner, their best corner. They traded away Quentin Williams, their best interior defensive lineman. So that just tells me that they don't embrace a full rebuild. I would be highly disappointed if the Falcons went up there and lay the egg.
This is one of those games you got to win.
This is a team that has fully embraced their rebuild. We're still trying to win. We do have a quality roster now, in my opinion. So, like I said, go up there, continue to play great defense like we did. We got to use.
Maybe I'm good now.
I think StreamYard's tripping out, man. I don't think it's a connection issue because it just shot David out.
Because saying the run. Okay, Phil. Yeah, the run defense is pretty weak. So it's Bijan and Algier today mixed in. Hopefully, Kyle Pitts can build a little security blanket for Kurt over the middle, and a shot here and there to Mooney. And I think we control this game and get come out with a real comfortable win.
A very, very big game that Mooney must have today. Another week without Drake London. The injury report has hit. We'll run through that real quick. Not only is Drake London out, but Cordell Hodge is another receiver that will not get action today. Casey Washington, another receiver that's on the injury report. Josh Woods, linebacker, Michael Jarrell, and my guy Elijah Garcia will not play today. The biggest name on that list, guys, and we all know it, Mr. 5, Agent 5, Drake London, missing 2 weeks in a row. Guys, what a season Drake London has had. It really sucks that he had to take this injury, because Drake London was working his way to be the top tier receiver that we all drafted him to be, like a number 3 this year in yards as far as touchdowns. Like Drake London's still in that top 6 category, even after missing a week last week. Now he misses his second consecutive game on the road against the New York Jets. A guy that came in questionable to start the week was Chris Lindstrom. He will play today. Chris Lindstrom will be on the field today. Matthew Bergeron is a healthy go. The O-line looks healthy. We must keep, as far as my recipe to success, we have got to keep Kirk Cousins protected. Elijah Wilkinson, the false starts, they have to stop. We cannot have any more costly penalties. The intentional grounding, even though I say that wasn't intentional grounding, we must not have those type of penalties today. That's why the Atlanta Falcons on that 4 or 5 game losing streak was a lot of our issue. We kept getting costly penalties. We were not getting enough yards on first down. We could not convert our third down to save our life. You must convert third downs today. You must contain time of possession against the New York Jets and their defense. You must get Bijan and that guy, Tyler Algier, active today to open up that passing game. I need to see a little more snaps under the center. I like to play action out from under the center. It seemed to work well against the Saints. Can you keep that going today? That is the question. What did Zach Robinson and this offense scheme up for these New York Jets? We were speaking about it a while ago. We'll talk about numbers here if I can get it pulled up in just a second. The Atlanta Falcons offense has increased in scoring over its last 3 games, putting up 25.3 points per game. Okay. They've also turned our attention to yards. Atlanta has amassed fewer total yards per game over its last 3 matchups. Now, if you head over to the Jets side of things, give me 1 second. Let me pull this up. If I can find it, I may have lost it. I have lost it. But the Jets, the last 3 games have degressed in all 3 categories. The Falcons also activate receiver. They brought up receiver. What's his name? I want to say Drummond will be active today. We've seen him last week, 3 touches. David, how do you feel about, still not elevating a Chris Blair or a Nick Nash to this active roster?
Well, going into the season, I thought that Nash was going to be one of our, jewel picks. I thought that, he's gone through the whole season, not one elevation from the practice squad. It's confusing. I think that we signed KJ
Osborne.
That's right.
And, didn't activate him this week. I guess he didn't get enough reps to, benefit the team. But I think that, he's going to benefit more than any other receivers that we have on the practice squad once he gets a few more reps in practice and everything as a Falcon. But we got to run with what we got. I think that they might be being a little careful with Drake. I think they may have thought that this was a week that we could get by with him without him, to give him another week to really get on his feet before we bring him back for the stretch run. But hopefully that pays off for us, and hopefully my thinking is right with that. That give him a week against a team that I hate to say the word tanking, but when they strip the roster like they did, I don't think that they're real in line for draft picks now than trying to win games. So hopefully my line of thinking is right with that, and we can go up there and not, I hate to say it, as some of the other things say, falcon it up, so yeah. But yeah, that's my team. I think that everything is pointing to a comfortable win for us today.
It's definitely a game that is winnable. Just going through the stats here of the Jets' previous last few games that they have played, the Jets have not looked too great on third down efficiency. They played the Cleveland Browns. They did win that game 27-20. They walked away with 3 third down conversions out of 11. They walked away with 169 total yards. Not really a game that you should win when you walk away with that low of total yardage. I don't understand how that was even a football game. You look at them against the Patriots, they had 8 for 15 third down conversions. So it's a team that the defense, our young defense, should be able to get after today. The run game hasn't been too great, as Ricky stated. Yes, run the ball, get the ball to Bijan and Tyler. But speaking on the defense side of things, you're talking about James Pierce Jr., Leonard Floyd, Jalen Walker. We talk about Jalen Walker and Pierce leading the rookies in the most total sacks. Jalen Walker at 1, Pierce at 2. Could today be that day that these guys really get some nice sack numbers against a New York Jets offense? We looked at what they've done the past previous games. This defense has over 20 sacks in the last 4 games, guys. Like, why couldn't we get a couple of double-digit sacks? Leaders, you look at Brandon Delores, he's leading the team in sacks.
6.
Is it 6? I thought it was 8.
Yeah, I was not going to let you pass by not call his name. I know you were talking about Pearson Walker, but you're going to have to give Dory some love. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Brandon Delores, man, making an impact his second year here in Atlanta. A lot of guys were kind of iffy on that draft pick.
Who is their QB?
That's a good question.
I think it's going to be Tyrod. I think they benched
Taylor.
Justin Fields. And that was the only thing that I was going into the game period with a little fearful of is with Justin Fields on his legs. Mobile quarterbacks have always been something that we struggle with for some reason. I know Tyrod is he's mobile as well, but he don't bring that running aspect like Fields do. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've embraced the tank. And
So today could ultimately be a big game for Caden Ellis as far as sideline to sideline to contain a Tyrod Taylor, because guys, in the previous years, the Falcons have had a lot of issues with these rushing quarterbacks. I mean, not too crazy this year. We haven't faced too many of those rushing quarterbacks other than Josh Allen. Help me out here. Who's another rushing quarterback that we played this season?
I think it was Spotty, but we didn't do good against Baker. I think
Baker was the big question mark.
Yeah, Baker had some timely rushes that helped them win that game against us. So.
Yep. Speaking of Baker and the NFC South opponents, Philip, as you stated before the game, if you win today and those two teams loses, speaking on Tampa and the Panthers, you're 1 game away from really making some noise in this NFC South. Baker will play today. They do gain back Bucky Irvin against the Arizona Cardinals. Hoping for an L there, guys. Keep our fingers crossed. I think the Panthers walk away with an L against the Rams, the style of football that Matthew Stafford is playing right now. That should be a high-scoring game for these Rams. So we're keeping our fingers crossed on that. Maybe we walk away today 5-7, and then it's not so far. I mean, it's right there, guys. The Atlanta Falcons are even at 4-7. The Falcons are still in the hunt in the playoff picture. So I mean, it's not too far out of reaching. A big game today for AJ Terrell. You have Mike Hughes as well back healthy. He'll play today as well. D. Alford still in the starting lineup, being that. Our guy Billy Bowman. Right? Yeah, D will play nickel today. Billy Bowman, obviously season-ending injury with the Achilles. David, we spoke on it a little bit last podcast, but as we stated, man, we're looking at a 9-month heel recovery for Billy Bowman. So, D. Alford may just get that, that starting role there for the next, maybe even next year. You may see some more D. Alford on this defense. So, very, very pleased with what D. Alford's brought to the table the last few games. Even last week, D made a big presence against the division rivals. Just real quick, you want to elaborate on D. Alford filling in for Billy Bowman? A guy that, came from the UFL. He was a practice squad player. He made a presence here in Atlanta. He got the contract. He's here. I believe his contract's up this year. D. Alford looking for that contract. How much do these last few games, even if you don't make a playoff push, how much do these games mean to D. Alford to, get that contract here in Atlanta?
I know I've been real rough on D. Alford, but when he's not in the lineup and we have to go with some of the lesser ones on the roster, it shows. When he's bad, he's bad. And when he's good, he's good.
That's right.
So, like I said, the 2 games that we lost previously to the one that we won against the Saints, I think if he was in the lineup, I think he missed either 1 or 2 of those games. I think we would have won that game. I think that we can do better in my heart of hearts. I think that we can find someone better, but until we do, we're gonna have to run with him with Bowman, being out. But I think that we have our defensive backfield for the future, but we just got to get the pieces back healthy, minus the corner opposite AJ. I think that's gonna continue to be our one big hole. Is Hughes playing today? I didn't.
He will play today. Mike Hughes will be on the field.
Okay, so I think that as long as you don't have to put him on the boundary, I think that's where he suffers a little bit. But they've been using them in the pass rush, in the which he has 2 sacks this year already.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we just gotta keep plugging away. I think that we're gonna. Would I give him a big contract? No. But if he's a smaller contract and bring in someone better, and he's maybe a step further down the depth chart, and then Phillips, Clark Phillips, if he's in that role where he's more of a situational player and not being heavily dependent on, I think that, he does have a spot on the team.
Even though the New York Jets offense isn't known for that this year being that big run offense, they still have a nice back in New York, and Breece Hall, man, he is a very dominant running back. We must contain him today. Looking at our receiver matchups, the Atlanta Falcons will face John Mechie III, and that trade that happened with Sauce Gardner to Adon Mitchell will play today against the Atlanta Falcons. We must contain both those receivers. The name that I circle on this list, man, would have to be Breece Hall and Adon Mitchell. 2 guys, Breece Hall has made a name for himself, but Adon Mitchell has been able to take the top off in Indianapolis. He did have a big play that came back being a touchback. He fumbled the ball crossing the plane, but Adon Mitchell can take the top off, and that's what I wanted to circle. If Mike Hughes is against the Adon Mitchell, a very speedster receiver, Mike Hughes must do his job. Xavier Watts walking away with the interception last week. Would love to see some more interceptions against the backup quarterback Tyrod Taylor. You look at their tight end, they have a tight end, Mason Taylor, not too big, flashy tight end. That shouldn't be a big issue today in the nickel position, the linebacker spot. Let's see, I had their injury report pulled up. Give me just a second. We'll find the Jets.
Gotta watch Mitchie too, though. He's that's an underrated guy that can make a good play here and there, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so that goes further to I was talking about with their, scalping the roster. They don't have Garrett Wilson, the top receiver. So that's everything, man. We're gonna talk after the game. I was just saying this is one of the games that if we go out there and lay an egg, that's gonna be another one of these feel bad games that we play at times. So I don't even know.
The New York Jets injury list will be Jarvis Jr., their defensive back, Harrison Phillips, their D lineman, Joe Tipman, their center. So Brandon Delores and Automata should make noise there, as well as Okuru. I can't say his name. And then their receiver, Alan Lazard, is also on the injury report for today.
Lazard.
So, big names there, big starting positions for the Jets that will be out today. As David said, if you walk away and you've planted an egg in New York, it will be we'll be back on the fireable offense situation, guys. Like you can't go to New York and lay an egg, Raheem. Zach Robinson, you better have a good scheme, because from what I'm hearing, Oklahoma is going a different route. As we all stated on the podcast, I said it. Zach Robinson would coach himself out of a job in Oklahoma. That is the state from what I'm reading. Zach Robinson will still be in the NFL next year if the Atlanta Falcons decide to keep him, part ways, whatever it may be. But if we can game plan like we game planned last week, I mean, we've seen a lot more offense last week in New Orleans than you've seen pretty much all year. I mean, other than the Bills game, your offense has not rolled like that since the Bills game. Just keeping it a buck. You had Kirk Cousins under center. You were able to get the run game started. The run game opened up the passing game. You had the play action rolling for you. Could the Atlanta Falcons run that same similar scheme today in New York, or will we see more pistol? That's the big question for today's game. Will it be more pistol, or will it be more of a NFL-style offense here to come against the New York Jets today in Atlanta? Philip, we always do it every podcast. We're going to give a prediction, a score prediction, a player of the game prediction. What's a stat line? Philip, we'll start with you and go to Mr. David. What do you have for me today? What is your prediction for these Atlanta Falcons? And give me a stat line that you think hits today for these birds.
It's gonna be. Oh man!
Did you go to Phil first or me?
Go ahead, David. Go ahead.
Okay, let's say 27-10. I'll go 27-10. Okay. I think it needs to be a Tyler Algier Bijan game. So I'm looking for 200 yards rushing. Nice. If Kirk 65-70% passing, 175 to 225 yards. I'm happy with that. That's to control the clock. Keep them off balance with that, and defense go crazy. Let me get another sack from give me 4 sacks today. I'm happy.
Okay. 4 sacks is very doable, David. Like I said, we've walked away with 8 sacks in a game, 6 sacks, 5 sacks.
Past few games, we've been walking away with 4 or 5 sacks. So
absolutely. So it's very doable today against the New York Jets. Philip, give me a stat line and your prediction for the Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Jets.
This is gonna be a good one. Give me 2. See, this is where give me 28-9 type of game, and I'm gonna give this stat line to somebody that I feel like can have an underrated day, man. We got Kirko throwing the ball today, but it's gonna be the David Sills.
Okay.
For 2 touchdowns for 100 yards.
David Sills breaks his first ever 100-yard game.
Gotta have
2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns on the day, making his 3rd in his career. Philip, I'll ride with it. So you say a 28-9 game. David Sills goes stupid today with Darnell Mooney. I'm gonna go the other direction. Okay, I'm gonna give it to a guy that made his mark last week. Finally stepped out from behind the curtain. Darnell Mooney walks away with a 100-yard passing game today, 4 completions, maybe a tutty. I have Bijan Robinson for 85 yards on the ground. Tyler Algier better touch the ball more than 8 times. I have James Pierce Jr. with 2 sacks. And maybe I see an interception somewhere on that back end. Xavier Watts, AJ Terrell, somebody get me a pick. I'll give you your score prediction. I say the Atlanta Falcons win today 25-13. That's what you walk away with a dub. 25-13. Atlanta Falcons win the time possession as far as offensively. Defense gets off the field. A lot of 3 and out should come today. This is just the predictions. Don't know if it'll happen, but my hopes are high for this game. And as David said, if you walk away and you planted an egg, we're going to be some mad Falcon fans on this podcast later tonight.
They're going to have to see me, bro.
None of us said anything about Kyle Pitts.
Man.
Ah.
Hey, this was the team he scored his first ever NFL touchdown on in London. Kyle Pitts against the Jets. Maybe Pitts walks away with a touchdown. But you know that connection last year, David, with Kirk and Pitts wasn't very strong. You know, you see more of a Penix and Pitts connection more than you did a Kirk last year. Now the game plan this week may be, you know, get the ball to Pitts. If we can get Pitts in open field, get the ball to Pitts. But with the 2 drops the last 2 weeks, it's like, do you trust Pitts? Like, can you game plan for Pitts?
Can I just say,
we're not calling the interception a drop, are we?
No. I'm saying against the Colts, the pass against the Colts, and then he had, I think there was one last week, other than the interception, there was one last week that he just blatantly dropped a deep 15-yard pass. But yeah, I went back and watched that play, David. It was for sure
the Panthers game. It was the Panthers game.
Yeah, he dropped one against the Panthers. So I mean, there's been a couple of drops this year. And so speaking about Kyle Pitts, if you go into the offseason with this style of play that Pitts has put on the production field, like he's put out on the field, if you know Pitts walks away with let's say Pitts scores 2 more touchdowns before the season ends. Are you giving him that 5th-year option, or are you going to let him hit the free agency table?
No. He's on the 5th-year option now.
This is his 5th-year option. So the franchise tag him.
Franchise, $18 million franchise tag is what.
That's right. And that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. You got to hit the free agency table. Got to see what other teams are offering.
Yeah.
You know, a guy that could be active today that we didn't mention, Charlie Warner, with 3 grabs last week. I mean, maybe you see more checkdowns. Maybe you see more checkdowns today with, you know, a Kirk Cousins in his second start, you know, official start in Atlanta. He did have a start against, who was the team we played? Miami. He started against.
Yes, Miami.
So you had that game. It was a short week. Found out Penix wasn't going to play. You had a full week to plan against the Saints. You had a full week to plan against the Jets. We'll see what that play style looks like today. But, you know, I posted on Twitter the other day, and it got 0 reactions. So I don't know if Falcon fans just think I'm delusional or what. But I said, I'm feeling a 2-touchdown, 200-yard day for Kirk Cousins. And nobody liked it. Nobody commented. So your guys' thoughts, could Kirk Cousins go for 200 yards a day, 2 passing touchdowns, or am I just delusional?
He could. I mean, this is a guy that threw 500 against the Bucs team. I mean, I don't see why.
He was 199 last week against the Saints. He had a tutty in the air to David Sills. I see it. I see a 200 passing yard game. You've had 2 weeks now to learn the offense. I mean, I'm sure he's learned the offense. He's a professional. He's a veteran in the NFL. He knows the offense. Did the Falcons game plan correctly for the Jets? Is the question to leave the podcast with. We'll know very shortly in 30 minutes the Atlanta Falcons kick off in New York. So
hate watch.
I'm going to leave it at that. Can the Atlanta Falcons game plan the correct way against a 2-win team? I believe they got 2 wins against the NFL. Rick says, yes, Kirk can do that. He believes Kirk can hit for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. I agree. I think that should be, you know, the expectation for a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Whether it's to passing to Algier or Bijan, I mean, it can get passing touchdowns from either one of them. One thing that I noticed last week that has been a problem all year, the screen passes came in the right situation, the right player. It wasn't a Kyle Pitts screen 2nd and 13. It was a Bijan Robinson 2nd and 15 screen to get you back in the field position, get you a deep pass to Mooney. You know, you may see a over the top defense with the New York Jets. You know, if you go off of last week's game, they see that Mooney escapes. Maybe you see a cover 2 style defense, which should open up that run game for Bijan. You know, Bijan really hasn't had what you call a big game, and he has. I mean, Bijan's been Bijan all year, but you haven't had that, you know, those big plays from Bijan since the Bills game. I mean, really, other than the screen pass last week, he did rush for 80-something yards last week. Bijan's still putting up nice numbers. But I feel like today, if this offensive game plan came out correct, if you do the under the center, you do the play action, it's going to open up that run game, man. Like, I think Bijan could have a day today.
Yeah, I don't think they have a stack the box type situation going there where they have the players on the back end that can match up one-on-one. Well, you know, we're a little down in the receiving core as well, but you know, they got rid of Sauce. It has to be a drop off in their coverage minus him. And I don't see where they're going to be able to just stack the box and take Bijan away and just make Kirk pass the ball. I can't.
That's what I'm saying. I see a big
Yeah.
Bijan day today, boys. Bijan on the ground, Tyler Algier in the short yardage situation. Rotate those players in, man. Like it works. It worked. The recipe has shown it works when you rotate those two running backs. You beat down that defense. You get the play action started. Today should be a win for the Atlanta Falcons. We all agree?
Agreed.
No doubt the Atlanta Falcons shouldn't walk away today 5-7, knocking on the window to get back in that NFC South situation, the playoff race. It's still not out. There was a time it was looking pretty rough that the Falcons may not win another game, but we here, man. We here for it. We're going to be here all season for it. So, the Falcons should win today. They walk away 5-7. The Rams should beat the Panthers. The Rams should beat the Panthers.
I hope that's a generational ass whooping.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. I hope they get their their blocked in. But
I can't stand them, bro.
The game that matters, the Bucks and the Cardinals. Can the Cardinals find a way today to beat the Bucks? They're going off of two straight L's now. They've been banged up. They do get their quarterback back today. They will get Irvin back today in the lineup.
Just like what I'm watching here, Bucky, like you mentioned, Baker one hit away. Bucky too. He gets hurt as he's got a foot injury and a shoulder injury. So
I think they got McMillan back today too, right?
That's right. Yeah, McMillan back. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a big what if right now as it stands. But if the Falcons do their job, all we can do is sit and watch and hope the rest of the division does their job.
We just gotta take care of our business and let all the pieces fall as they were. Yep.
If you miss the playoffs, just say somehow you win out and you do miss the playoffs, I'm still kind of happy that you turned the season around. 10-7 is a winning season. You haven't seen that here in Atlanta in quite some time. I personally believe 9, maybe 9-8, if this division continues to fall down, could get you in a wild card spot. We'll see what happens. The Lions not looking so hot right now. The Lions losing on Thanksgiving. They fall to I think it's like 6-5 or something on the season. So
7-5.
7-5. So the playoff picture is still much alive. The Falcons are not out yet, but they must handle business in New York today.
You kind of need San Fran to lose some games because that's the last seed, and they're looking pretty tough right now.
I don't care if it's a wild card. Just sneak in. Just somehow sneak in, or just turn the season around. Go 10-7. Kirk gets his payday in the offseason. You walk into next year. You groom Penix. You let Penix get back healthy. So that's where I'm at with it right now, guys. The situation may be different after today's game. We'll see. We will be live tonight at 8 o'clock, DFU on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Be sure to tune in, guys. We'll bring you the recap of the Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Jets. Before we get out of here, David, Phillip, give me a shout-outs, and let's get ready to watch some Falcon football.
Well, as always, shout-out to the fam. Wife's downstairs, cooking up lunch, getting ready for the game. Yeah, a little gumbo going on.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we getting ready to sit down, watch the game as we always do. Shout out to the whole cast of DFU. Looking forward to continuing to bring this content out to the masses and rise up.
Rise up, David. Glad to have you here for the podcast, man. Like I said, we'll be live again tonight at 8 o'clock to bring you your recap of the Atlanta Falcons versus the Jets. Phillip, shout-outs. Special guest appearance, guys. If we forgot to leave that out, Mr. Avitz is in the building again. He's here to talk Falcon football. Shout-outs for today, bro.
Man, as always, shout out to the good Lord above, man. We're here another day. We're here. We're blessed. We're healthy. Couldn't ask for nothing better, man. It's going to be a good day. Shout out to these birds, man. Thank y'all for beating our most hated rival, man. That did me something great last week. It made my week so much better because we'd all hate them. But get this win today. Let's get back in this race, man. Shout out to you boys for being here. And as always, man, rise up.
Rise up. Shout out to all the Falcon fans that tuned in on Twitter, man. We appreciate you guys on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you watch the stream. If you watch it after the live podcast, leave a comment. We'll be sure to get at you after we see that you've commented. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, man. Please head over from Twitter to YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, man, guys. We greatly appreciate y'all. Without this, there is no podcast. As always, shout out to the Atlanta Falcons, man. Get the job done today in New York, and you've made a lot of Falcon fans a lot happier than what you've done in the last 5 weeks. Shout out to the wife in the living room with the babies. Shout out to the comment section. And as always, man, shout out to the DFU crew here on the DFU podcast crew. David, Philip, Rick, I'm forgetting one. Richard, wow. Shout out Cody. Oh, Robert. No, I called his last name. Shout out to everybody that's part of the podcast, man. We appreciate you guys, man. As always, rise up. We're getting ready to watch these Atlanta Falcons. They found a way to get in the win column. Can they continue it today? Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Rise up, A-Town Dallas.